going on, everybody? This is Jeff Grammer with the ABQJournal, trying to fix my microphone here. Should have had that set to go. Joined by assistant coach Michael Wilder. Michael, what's up, man?
Oh, not much. Excited for the night. The energy's palpable in here. Happy to be on.
All right, so I got to ask you, first of all, it's a retro night.
Yep.
I don't know your age, but how do you feel about the 90s being a retro night?
It's a little wild. I was born in 91,
okay.
So I'm turning 35 in a couple months. It's crazy to think that, half of our guys didn't know what a Walkman is, didn't know what a slide projector was. So it's just a sign that time is moving, time is flying.
The first two songs I heard when I came down the ramp, too, I was like, that's not even from the 90s. And I looked them both up. They were.
I love it.
I'm old. What can I say? All right, so tonight, obviously, we got Nevada, we got the UNM Lobos, we got Steve Alford, we got Craig Neal. Lobo fans are pumped anytime Noodles and Alford come to town. Former Lobo coaches, obviously. They're going to get booed. A lot of people still have a lot of fond memories of their time here, certainly the Alford era. I'm curious if any of that even comes up in conversation with you guys. I don't know why it would. Some of these guys are born, they were 5 probably when they were coaching here, so they don't know that. But does it come up in any way to you guys because it does mean something to the fans?
I think it always comes back to just us playing the right way, and being able to feed off the energy that the fans give. And so we understand that there's going to be a little bit different energy because Alford's here, but for us, it's business as usual.
All right, so I will get to basketball in just a second, but with Steve Alford coming here, Steve Alford forever had the best hair in the pit. And now I'm telling you, man, I don't think Steve Alford's gonna have the best hair in the pit tonight. I think it might be.
Well, I appreciate that. Excuse me being all wild because of the headphones here. But
I was a little worried when I had to hand you the headphones, man.
Well, I always carry my pick around, so as soon as we're done, I'll shape it back up.
All right, nice. All right, so what does Nevada do? Look, first of all, they're 6-2. Both teams are 6-2, tied right now for second place in the Mountain West. Well, I guess at 2 losses. Technically, Utah State right now is a half game up because they won last night.
Certainly.
The winner of this game will be tied for second place with Utah State, 1 game behind San Diego State, who did beat UNLV earlier. So, what are they doing that has them right now in position to be in second place, almost at the midway point?
Well, I think they're playing really good basketball. They play with a certain physicality on both ends. On the offensive side, they're very well put together. Everybody plays their role to a T. It all starts with Elijah Price in the middle, double-double machine. 9 free throw attempts a game, 3 offensive rebounds a game. He's kind of the anchor of the inside. And then guards like Comer and Camper kind of lead the charge on the perimeter in terms of their toughness. So those are some of the things why I think they're playing their best basketball right now.
Noodles runs a lot of set plays. They're a team that does a lot of, I would say, when they were here, I don't think people thought of it this way, but they're a little bit old school in a lot of what they do.
Yes, they are.
They're doing a lot of mid-range game. I was surprised to see they lead the Mountain West. 18% of their shots are non-paint 2s. And that leads the Mountain West. It's one of the highest. It's the 95th percentile in the country. You guys are just below 6%. Modern basketball's gone away from those mid-range 2s, but they do it. And the best shot in basketball, everyone says that's a horrible shot. Really, the best shot in basketball is whatever you're good at.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever you do well. And they do that fairly well.
Yes.
Why are they able to kind of find some success with the shot that most of basketball's moved away from?
Well, I think they have, all their guys from the roster, top to bottom, have really good feel. And so, when they're running their off-ball screen and motion offense, they have guys that are really good at getting the ball in the spots where they need to get it. They do a really good job of taking care of the ball. And then they've got guys that can knock it down. And so it's going to be a challenge for us to make those types of shots as tough as possible because those are the shots we typically force teams to take.
I'm curious if I seem to remember Noodles' offense just running guys off of back screens and screens away from the ball all game. Is he still doing a lot of that?
Yes,
a lot of screens off the ball?
That's where they're going to challenge us the most. Is our communication, our off-ball screening defense. We're going to really physical screeners, and they've got perimeter guys on offense that do a really good job of setting up and then reading where the defenders go.
All right, so defensively, you guys are gonna have a lot to work for, or a lot to work on in terms of away from the ball. What about the ball pressure? They don't turn it over a lot, do they?
They do not. They do not. Part of the reason
you guys thrive on turnovers.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to be able to get going if you don't get those turnovers?
Well, that's good. I mean, the game plan is to try to be as disruptive as you can, so that they can't get to their spots as easy as they want to get to. They're going to make that really hard because they've got really good players.
Yeah.
So if we can kind of win that disruption battle, win the turnover battle, force them, even if it's not live ball, maybe some dead ball turnovers, then we'll give ourselves the best chance.
All right. So offensively, what do you guys got to do? How do you attack their defense?
I think we have to take care of the ball. We have to be good around the rim. Our end of drive decisions when we penetrate. Elijah Price is a really good shot blocker. Again, they have physical defenders at every other position. So our ability to take care of the ball, take quality shots, those are going to be two of the most important things for us tonight.
I am curious too, in a game like this, when you guys are playing for something, forget the opponent and that it's all for the nil and there's a connection to people here. But this game is it's meaningful, and you guys have been really good about not approaching Air Force any different than you approach San Diego State. But once the standings start coming out, and once you get into the midway point, and you guys are still in the title chase, do the guys start paying attention to that? Does it start coming up at all? Are you guys able to kind of still keep them in the same mindset as the rest of the year?
Well, I think so. I mean, we tell our guys all the time, we believe we're one of the best teams in the league, in the conference. And so for us, we have to approach every game similarly. It doesn't matter where you are in the standings. It doesn't really matter how you've been playing recently, good or bad. For us, we need to take the same approach if we want to reach our goals at the end of the year. And so our guys have done a really good job of kind of keeping themselves, in that mode of, hey, we're still the underdog, we're still hungry. And every game, we're taking it as a championship game.
You guys don't seem to be a very emotional team, high or low. That's kind of taken on maybe a little bit of the persona of the head coach kind of thing.
Certainly.
He did get a technical the other night. What was weird about the other night to me was this: he was as animated as I've seen him, probably all season. I think he was getting on the refs. And then when he finally got the technical, it was the quietest technical I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm not shocked that he got a technical that game. Yeah. I'm shocked that he got it in that moment. So that was kind of weird. But point being, you guys don't seem to get too high, too low, and the players seem to be taking that on from him a little bit. Does he have that persona a lot in meetings and in practices?
Yes, I mean, he's, the way you guys see him coach is the way he is all the time. He's only focused on the things that are most important and pertinent to winning. And so, I think that allows our guys to just focus on those most important things and not worry about anything else that's not related.
All right, so you came from UC Irvine. You played there. You coached there for a long time. This is your first stop outside of, well, I guess not. You had one, you played pro for a year, right?
Yes, in Spain, for 1 year, right after graduation.
But other than that, it's all been UC Irvine since high school, I guess,
yes,
right?
Sir.
All right, so what have you learned so far this year that maybe you didn't even expect? Like you had to get out of UC Irvine to kind of learn one thing. Is there anything that's come to mind that you maybe learned in your first new stop?
It's interesting. I played for Pat Douglas in my first year, but Russell Turner for 3 years, and that's who I worked for 11.
He's a fantastic coach, by the way, too.
I mean, incredible. Yeah. I mean, the ways that he's been able to build that program.
He's not like Eric Olin, though.
No, I mean, they're two different personalities, and I think for me it was learning that you can still operate at a championship level with two different styles. And so I've learned a lot from Coach Olin. I've learned a lot from the other assistants on the staff. I think we have really good cohesion. So it's been a great year for me.
That's something I heard a lot over the previous 4 years. Richard Pitino talked about coaching for his dad and growing up being, I don't know if you know this, but his dad's a famous coach too, Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
He would talk about, he went for just a year and he was an associate head coach for Billy Donovan in Florida. Yep. And he said that year was probably the best year of his coaching life because he realized you could still do this, you could still be at a high level and not do it the way I've always seen my dad do it.
Exactly.
So kind of seeing and realizing there are different ways to be successful in this game is probably pretty important for a guy in your position.
Definitely. I mean, and Olin's maybe a little bit more like my personality or my personality matches. Russ and I were able to be each other's balance. Yeah. The things that I needed to kick in the butt for, he was perfect for me. Yeah. And I was great for him in that way too. And so with Olin, it's it's been nice to kind of again be a compliment to him and just look to enhance the things that he's doing.
I will ask this, and then I'll let you go. I know you got some work to do. You got a game tonight.
Yeah.
But I'll ask this. Personnel-wise, Jake Hall, Uriah Tenet, Thomas Bullion is away from his home country for the first time. Not a traditional freshman, but he is a freshman.
Yes.
In 2026, are you at least a little surprised, like maybe I am and a lot of fans are, that you guys have 3 freshmen averaging double figures and playing such significant roles, even if one of them is a non-traditional one, like Thomas Bullion, even if all you want to do is focus on Jake and Uriah? You guys have 2 guys who 6 months ago were still in high school.
Yeah.
And they're playing key parts to a potential title contending team in the Mountain West. That's shocking to me. What about you?
And, for me, I think I knew they were high-level players. They were committed to go to UCSD prior to here, at least Jake and Uriah were. Yep. So I watched them a lot in high school and knew they had toughness, talent, and feel. And after the first couple weeks of practices, they completely exceeded my expectations. Yeah. And so, it's a credit to them, including Tomislav. Tomislav's played a lot of high-level basketball, but so is Jake and Uriah, at the high school level. And so, to see those guys having the success that they are and being able to help, just contribute to winning on both sides of the ball is really special to see.
One key for tonight that fans should watch for. What would you say it is? For the Lobos, obviously.
For the Lobos, if we can play without fouling, again, they're top 10 in the country on KenPom and distribution of points from the free throw line. Yeah. So if we can keep them off the free throw line,
make them have to find points somewhere else.
Exactly, and then limit their 3-point makes if we can. It's not a high volume, but they are shooting 42% from three in conference, and so the ones that they are taking, they're making. Awesome. So if we can do those 2 things, I think we give ourselves a chance.
Coach Wilder, I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jeff.
Coach Wilder, one of the new guys here, so getting to know all of them. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to stay with you guys here, but you're going to get to work, man.
Yep, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
See you. There you go. There's Coach Wilder there. You just said it there. I'll get it. Don't worry about it. There you go. A little grammar vision coming up here. Sean Ryder would be proud. Sean Ryder's in the house, by the way. Now you can see the Lobos warming up over there. All right. So, let's see what we got here. Let me adjust this, and I'll get to some of your guys' comments now, too. Hey, there I am. Let me swap those. Give you guys the court view a little better. All right. Richie, what's up, my boys? I'm cheering from work again. It is your Friday, though. I saw that down the road. I know we got some other comments in here, just people checking in that when I went on air, I didn't get to a bunch of these. I was letting Michael go, and I know he's got to get to work now, helping them with their pregame warm-ups right now. But I definitely appreciate him and Eric Olin and UNM for letting one of the assistants come on. I was a 90s kid for 4 months. There you go, Richie. Some of us old folks, our old heads, are yeah, some of us old heads don't like this old 90s retro night thing. I'm telling you, man. Mark, I agree, man. Surprised I found some headphones for the coach that fit that afro. I'm telling you, man, I'm glad he brought his pick with him because I genuinely kind of felt bad when I was told he was the one that was going to come on the show. I was like, oh, shit. He's going to mess up that afro. And I'm looking at him out there. I didn't see him fix it, but it looks good, man. Like, maybe it just popped right back in, you know? Good for him. Best hair in the Mountain West, Michael Wilder. Attendance tonight over 13,000 or what? Actual attendance, I don't know. I do know tickets out's going to be about 14,000. They were at 13.5 earlier, and I do think there was a little bit of a push because the weather ended up not being what people thought it was. I think it slowed because of all the forecasts late in the week that it was going to be snowing last night and then maybe snowing today. I think some people that maybe live outside of the metro area decided maybe they weren't going to come. I do think the ticket sales yesterday were a little slower than maybe UNM thought they were going to be for an Alford Noodles game. Nevada game, obviously. But so I think I do think the sales were a little bit lower yesterday, and I think I attribute that to not because these aren't two good teams. They're two teams playing for second place in the league right now. So I kind of attribute that to maybe that forecast predicted a whole bunch of snow. So announced attendance, I think, will be about 14,000. I think we'll approach 14, somewhere around there. Actual attendance, whether or not it fills up that way, I don't know for sure. But there you go. John Romero's in. The defectors, Alford Noodles, are in the pit. Boo. Time to roast some Wolfpack rum. Go Lobos. All right. Fettendop. Hold on one second. Did a little mute button for a cough. There you go. That's how I'm supposed to do it. It's like I know what I'm doing now. All right. Our Coach Olin's news conference is required under contract. Just doesn't appear to enjoy answering questions from the Journal and from journalists. They are not required. His media obligations are only for their media partners, which is obviously the KKOB broadcast, the media partners with the Mountain West that have TV rights. those are the media obligations he has in his contract. He has no media obligation whatsoever to meet with reporters. That said, whether he enjoys it or not, I don't think he doesn't enjoy it as much as maybe you think it appears. But whether he enjoys it or not, he understands it's part of what promotes the program. And there is a clause in his contract for promoting the program that maybe an AD could say, hey, this falls under program promotion. But point being, no, they don't have to do press conferences, and but he wants to. He does want the message out of his team. And I do know that there's been some kind of joking around and some fun about whether or not he likes the Journal and the Journal's questions and stuff like that. Eric and I text fairly regularly now. Like, definitely not like pen pals and best buddies or anything like that, but like we get along just fine. I assure you. I don't know. I guess I'll have to go back and watch some of the pressers to see how annoyed maybe he appears. It's my Friday. Yeah, there you go, Richie. That's what I thought I saw earlier. It's my Friday. So play like a bunch of crazed dogs out there and get this dub. As you can see, we got some fans filling in right in front of us. He appears bored in the pressers. That might be true. He might be bored. I mean, some of the questions he gets, including for me, aren't on the basketball IQ level of Eric Olin. Like, I can tell you, man, I was walking in with Daniel Ferris and his daughter, and I told him, I said, in the past 2 weeks, might be past 3 weeks, actually, I've gotten texts from 2 assistant coaches outside of New Mexico who kind of were picking my brain about Eric Olin a little bit. And just both of them brought up, it wasn't like I texted them and said, hey, what do you think about the press conferences? Two assistant coaches outside of New Mexico reached out to me unsolicited and both mentioned how much they love his press conferences because the way he articulates his vision and what he's doing and what the team's doing, it's so calm and it's so it's just the way he articulates it is what you want out of a coach's clinic and what you when you're trying to explain it to people. He does such a great job of that. I do think that maybe he does it so calmly that fans aren't used to the non-car salesman or carnival barker kind of approach that a lot of coaches sometimes have. I think, yeah, he's probably not the best MC of hosting a night of, he's not going to host the Oscars anytime soon or anything like that, but, like, he articulates his vision so well. He kills it at coaches' clinics. He kills it when he talked to the New Mexico High School Coaches Association. They all loved it. And I think he does that at presser some. Now, it comes across as such a just calm demeanor that I think some people think he's almost frustrated or bored, as you mentioned. And there we go, bored, sorry. I should have put that up there instead of the other one, but I appreciate your comment because I don't think you're the only one who feels that, who has noticed that. Is Hal still on IR? He is. He is out with an oblique injury. Looking around. Yep, he's down there under the court right now wearing an old school Lobos sweatshirt, hanging out with the managers. I think, look, a couple more weeks. I've been asked several times, why can't he redshirt or why won't he redshirt? He has no intention of redshirting as of right now because he wants to come back and help his team in February and March. It is still only January. There's still 2 months of basketball left, and the most important basketball is still left. He has every intention of helping them win in March, and that is his goal. So, yeah, he's not seeking a red shirt at this point. He also played 10 games, so I don't know that he could get a red shirt if he wanted to. John Romero's in, says we have royalty. We got Will Weber sitting next to Gigi, 2 best sports journalists in the land of enchantment. Love you guys. Appreciate that. And I'll let Will know. Holy big. Hopefully Coach Olin doesn't receive a technical tonight. He's turning into Bobby Knight. Yeah, that was a Bobby Knight-esque technical, was it not? The way he calmly took a sip of water after saying I had higher expectations for this game. That was the weirdest technical ever. Now, doing things that night that I thought maybe did deserve technicals, but it wasn't the one when he actually got the technical. That was funny. No update with Kevin Patton. He is still out for a very personal reason. Is Coach Olin liking or enjoying his UNM stint? As far as I know, I mean, he's a basketball coach, and he's coaching well and getting a lot of praise for his coaching. And when he's in season, he's so locked into coaching. Yeah, I think he's enjoying it right now. I will say that after the season, I'm going to talk to him and his staff quite a bit, that they weren't given, I don't mean this entirely as a shot at fans, but they have not exactly had the red carpet rolled out for them. A lot of fans have given them quite a hard time about their recruiting, about how boring they are, about this and that. And meanwhile, they're playing for second place in the league right now with the first place team still coming to the pit later this year. They're in NCAA tournament projections right now. They are with an entirely new roster, all that stuff. And they were fairly criticized fairly heavily throughout October, November, December. People are kind of coming around now. Attendance hasn't quite been there, and maybe that just is what it is. Maybe they just need to play more exciting basketball. Forget the winning. Maybe play a different brand of basketball if you want more fans. I would tell you that coaches around, like I said, coaches around the league and other people around the league and some national reporters, they're eating this up. They don't know how long Eric Olin's going to be in Albuquerque at this rate because what he's doing is so impressive. And I know that his agent, who was here just the other night for the Fresno State game, I think it was for the Red Panda experience, frankly, but his agent is here. And yeah, his agent is already working hey, when are you guys going to get a new AD? You better hurry and get a new AD because we want to know where we stand on, like Jason Eck, getting a new contract. For those that don't pay attention to such things, Eric Olin is a hot commodity already in the coaching carousel that will come in college basketball. I may have missed it, but what's the status of Howell long term? Chris Howell has an oblique injury. He is still out, and there's no timetable on his return, but he does expect and does want to return. Do you think we will reach 15K tonight? I do not. I think we might get to announce the crowd of 14K, but I do not think they're going to get to 15K tonight. Do you know how many 90s era players are there for the game? I do not know how many are here. I know I walked in with Daniel Ferris, who's not a 90s era player. So I do not know. I mean, Hunter Green was 80s. I see him here. And I've seen some 2000s era players, but I don't know how many. I imagine Kenny Thomas will be here. He was a 90s player. But no, I have not been told how many actual 90s era logos will be here. Broncos or Pats tomorrow. I'm going with the road teams in both games outright, not just to cover points. I'm going with the Patriots and I'm going with the Rams, both to win, not just to cover spreads. I'm thinking the road teams. The road teams actually win both conference championships. I will tell you, I am in last place in our journal picks right now in the playoffs. So. Much like my Mountain West picks against my daughter's coin flips, I am not any good. No idea. I don't think there's a whole lot of like on-campus visits or visiting going on right now. The portal has some of that, but like at this point with classes started, there's a whole lot less of it because if you want to be in spring football, you should be enrolled. So not a whole lot of visits for football right now, but I can try and find out. I do know Sean's in the house, Sean Ryder, that is. But yeah, I mean, yesterday they announced they did get. I think officially announced. I think it actually news might have come out 2 nights ago anyway. But Oregon backup quarterback is committed out of the portal, and UNLV's number one receiver, wide receiver one, he is committed to the Lobos now. Roger Holian scooting in behind me there. There we go. Charles Gonzalez on YouTube wants to know, how's the relationship with ABC Prep? Mason and Gary, relationship with Giddens, any recruit possibilities with ABC? They're recruiting Brandon Mason Jr. very hard. Relationship's good, man. ABC Prep has its job to do, and that is get in good with as many college coaches as you can, and that doesn't exclude the local guys in any way. Brandon Mason Jr. being a Lobo is a very real possibility. Him being an Aggie is a possibility. But Brandon Mason Jr. is also going to get offered a good chunk of NIL money. But I will tell you that ABC Prep and the relationship is just fine with the Lobo coaching staff. All right, were the turnovers by Fresno State all due to Lobo defense? Should we expect that tonight? The Lobo defense is number 2 or the number 3, I think, in league play in forcing turnovers. So the Lobos forced turnovers. Fresno State's point guard being out injured, Zion Collins, was a big part of it. They do not have another good option. Frankly, that's part of the reason why Fresno State's not really a title contender. They don't have a ton of depth, especially at the ball handling positions of guard and combo guard. But the Lobos do force a ton of turnovers. They've done it all year. So not entirely just because of Fresno. I mean, there's a little column A, a little column B kind of stuff, right? Like, I think the Lobos forced a lot of those, but I think Fresno State made it really easy for them to force some of those turnovers as well. Unlike a lot of teams where all the coaches come down except the head coach in pregame, with Nevada, I don't see Noodles down here this time, and I don't recall seeing Noodles down here really ever. So I think he and Steve both stay up in the locker room pregame, and all the other coaches are down here kind of helping the warm-ups and all that. And like with the Lobos, I generally see all of them down here at one point or another. I will say it's possible Tank wasn't down here today. I might not have seen Tom Tankowitz, but I think that is it. I'm scrolling through your guys' comments. I think that is it on the comments. All right, so we're 31 minutes away from tip-off here in the pit. I'm going to do a quick update for you guys on the line. I believe it's 8.5, but let's see. Got nothing ready for you here on that because of doing the pregame with Wilder and didn't really pull up any of this other stuff. So, according to DraftKings right now, UNM is favored by 8.5 tonight in the pit. I mean, look, I really like the matchup, frankly, for UNM. I know Steve will find a way to make this an interesting game. In the end, I think the Lobos probably win by 8, 9, 10 points, somewhere around that. I don't think they'll extend it much. I don't think they can extend it much beyond that. I think it should be a close but possibly coverable 8.5 point spread for the Lobos. Just because I think Steve is doing a really good job with this Nevada team, who I did not have particularly high expectations for coming into the season, but have been impressive much of the year. I think Elijah Price, who's down there, he's a freshman of the year candidate last year for Fresno State, and I just transferred to Nevada. I think he may actually be the best rebounder in the Mountain West, not named Tomislav Bullion. I do think Tomislav Bullion's the best rebounder in the Mountain West, but I think he might be right there, Elijah Price, and he's going to play a big part in tonight's game. What else we got? Looks like that's it. Let me check out the other scores. Grand Canyon at Fresno State starting here, just right now at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. Earlier scores, San Jose State went to Laramie and lost in Laradise. Wyoming 66, San Jose State 62. San Jose State covered that spread. I think Wyoming was favored by 12.5. We got Boise State beating up on Air Force. Air Force still without their head coach, Joe Scott, who's suspended indefinitely while he's being investigated for treatment of cadets. That scores 96-54. Boise State covered a 23.5 point spread. They won that game by 44. Some quick math there. See, Aggies can do math. And then San Diego State went to UNLV. UNLV obviously with a huge upset win Wednesday at Utah State. And riding pretty high. They were sitting at 5-2 coming into this game. They could have found themselves surprisingly in this title race. Had they pulled today off, they did not. San Diego State went on the road, won 82-71. San Diego State remains in sole possession of first place in the Mountain West at 8-1. The winner of this game, this Nevada-New Mexico game, will be tied with Utah State at 7-2, and it'll be a two-way tie for second place in the Mountain West between those two teams. So Utah State 7-2, and then either Nevada or New Mexico will be 7-2 later tonight. Appreciate you guys for being on. Coming on. Yep, no more questions. Appreciate you guys. ABQJournal.com. You can check out my game coverage right after the game. You can check out the posting of the post-game video, obviously, on our YouTube channel, social media channels, and it'll be attached to the story. And then, of course, tomorrow morning, morning after every regular season Mountain West or regular season UNM Lobo men's basketball game, I have an Emptying the Notebook column that updates a whole bunch of stats and trends and videos and social media posts and all that good stuff that didn't quite fit into the game story. That I have a tight deadline to file that game story anyway. So the Emptying the Notebook has all the good stuff. Check it out on abqjournal.com. Post it first thing in the morning, usually around 7 o'clock in the morning, the day after every regular season game. Thank you guys for being on. Nevada, New Mexico, 27 minutes from now in the pit.